Australian businesses be warned. The corporate watchdog is cracking down on anyone increasing prices and blaming the carbon tax. The federal government says some businesses are already rorting the system, and today Wayne Swan announced a $13 million funding boost for the ACCC to investigate price gouging. The business community has welcomed the announcement, saying it creates a level playing field for those doing the right thing. Emily Stewart reports.
Even the cost of a simple lunch could rise once the carbon tax starts to flow through from the big polluters.
Energy cost will be the main thing, and I think other supplies will put the cost up too.
But bakery owner Winnie Nguyen says she won't be passing on any cost increases to customers.
I am a consumer myself, so we are not going to increase any price because of the carbon tax, because I know how it feels to have that extra burden.
I will only pass on price increases that I directly encounter from suppliers.
Consumer prices are expected to rise by less than 1% on average, and there are concerns some people will take advantage. Federal Treasurer Wayne Swan has announced $12.8 million in funding to better resource the corporate watchdog.
So the ACCC will be the cop on the beat out there to ensure that those that make these false claims are dealt with with the full force of the law.
The $13 million will be used to create a dedicated team of more than 20 staff who'll investigate businesses that raise their prices and falsely blame the carbon tax. It'll also fund an education program and an information centre for businesses. The ACCC will also be armed with tough consumer protection laws that were introduced in January, and offenders could face fines of up to $1.1 million.
The message from the ACCC to businesses is simple. Don't mislead your customers about price increases, or you will pay the price.
Economist Sven Feldman supports the extra power and resources for the corporate watchdog.
There may be some companies that might be tempted in the current situation to raise their prices and claim that it is due to the carbon tax, especially businesses in relatively uncompetitive industries where they have a lot of market power.
The ACCC was similarly employed to police the first 3 years of the GST against price gouging, and during that period it investigated 7,000 complaints. Sven Feldman says it's fairly common for some businesses to try and falsely raise prices during regulatory changes.
Introduction of the euro in Europe has led in some countries really to a change in the price levels, or at least of companies trying to justify large price rises by attributing it to that particular change in the regime. Could happen here, but in the end we do have market forces that discipline competitors, and as long as a market is sufficiently competitive, we can't expect too many abuse in that regard.
But with the vast majority of business owners expected to do the right thing, most of the business community welcome the announcement.
Any business that increases their costs just because they think that maybe there's an opportunity to gouge maybe further profit, it makes it very hard for those who don't, so the level playing field disappears.
The consumer group Choice has also welcomed the funding, but says the ACCC may need more money in the future to properly investigate claims.